King Charles III of the United Kingdom honors Royal Navy personnel at Windsor Castle. Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa Bahrain plants a mangrove tree in southern Bahrain. Prince Albert II and Princess Charlene of Monaco attend a gala in Monte Carlo. Queen Letizia of Spain presents decorations in Madrid. Members of the Danish Royal family participate in the Royal Run. And Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden unveil a sculpture in Stockholm. All this and much more coming up next on your Royal Daily News. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Alexandra, and this is your Royal Daily News for May 30th, 2023. In Stockholm, Their Majesties King Carl Gustaf and Queen Sylvia of Sweden, accompanied by their Royal Highnesses Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden, hosted a diplomatic reception for newly appointed ambassadors to Sweden at the Kungliga Slottet. The newly appointed ambassadors are from the Republic of Guatemala, the Republic of Sri Lanka, the Italian Republic, the Czech Republic, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yesterday in Stockholm, Their Royal Highnesses Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden attended the inauguration of an outdoor sculpture by artist Miss Charlotte Gyllenhammar entitled Unsaid, held at the site for the future Princess Estelle's Sculpture Park at Djurgården. According to the Swedish Royal Court, Prince Daniel, who is the initiator and the board member of the Princess Estelle Cultural Foundation, inaugurated the new sculpture in the presence of the Crown Princess and the Swedish Minister of Culture, as well as the public and invited guests. In his speech, the prince said, quote, "The name of the sculpture may be unsaid, but for me, it says a lot. The work has a powerful physical presence. It is a human figure, but so enigmatic, familiar and unfamiliar at the same time. Perhaps it can remind us of the fundamental ties we have to nature, or the fascination with the supernatural." End quote. The sculpture Unsaid is a fourth permanent work that Princess Estelle's Cultural Foundation has presented for the future park. The work is the first to have a human form, and it is not a portrait of any specific person. Yesterday morning, His Majesty King Carl Gustaf of Sweden presided over the presentation of scholarships from the King Carl Gustaf Foundation's 50-year Fund for Science, Technology, and the Environment at the Kungliga Slottet. In the afternoon, His Majesty the King, accompanied by His Royal Highness Prince Carl Philip of Sweden, attended a ceremony at the Maritime History Museum on the occasion of Veterans Day. In Copenhagen, Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Mary of Denmark, accompanied by the Minister for Development Cooperation and Global Climate Policy, Mr. Dan Jorgensen, participated in the Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights Network Roundtable meeting held at Christiansborg Slot. Established in 2006, the SRHR is a network consisting of more than 60 members of Danish Parliament. The network promotes sexual and reproductive health and rights both nationally and internationally. According to the Danish Royal Court, during the meeting, the Crown Princess expressed her pride in Denmark's efforts for the health and rights of girls and women, quote, "Not least at a time when the climate crisis, COVID-19, and refugee displacement have put the conditions of the most exposed and vulnerable girls and women under further pressure." As a member of the high-level commission that will follow up on the Global Nairobi Summit in 2019, the Crown Princess gave a status on the commission's latest report, which shows both progress and setbacks for the world's women. End quote. On Monday in Denmark, members of the Danish Royal family participated in the sold-out 5th edition of the Royal Run, organized by the Sports Vision Move for Life in collaboration between the Danish Sports Confederation, the DGI, and the Danish Athletics Association. The Danish television network, TV2, is a media partner of the Royal Run. Regardless of one's age and/or fitness level, anyone can participate in the Royal Run. The purpose of the Royal Run is to encourage as many people as possible to participate in the run at their own pace and with their own individual goals. The overall aim is to encourage people to be physically active, not to sit in front of the television or on your iPad or on the computer or on social media gossiping, but to get outside and exercise. This year, 93,624 people registered for the Royal Run, which took place in 5 different cities throughout Denmark, including Herning, Nyborg, and Copenhagen, Frederiksberg. His Royal Highness Crown Prince Frederik of Denmark kicked off the 2023 Royal Run by running the 1 mile in Obenbro, then the 5 kilometer in Herning. Meanwhile, Her Royal Highness Crown Princess Mary of Denmark started her day by participating in the 1 mile in Nyborg. And, as something new, she participated in the so-called 5 kilometer walk distance in Nykøbing Falster. In Copenhagen, the Crown Prince couple's 4 children, His Royal Highness Prince Christian of Denmark, Her Royal Highness Princess Isabella of Denmark, His Royal Highness Prince Vincent of Denmark, and Her Royal Highness Princess Josephine of Denmark participated in the 1 mile run. The day ended with the Crown Prince and his sons participating in Copenhagen's 10 km. After the run, a tired yet incredibly happy Crown Prince Frederik said, quote, "It is a great pleasure to have my whole family with me on a day like today, and it means an incredible amount to us that so many Danes have taken part in the Royal Run. Today has been a day of celebration, and my family and I are ready again next year." End quote. The Crown Prince also confirmed that planning and preparations are already underway for the 2024 Royal Run. Meanwhile, Miss Helle van Wildenrath, a spokesperson for Her Excellency Countess Alexandra of Frederiksborg, confirmed that His Excellency Count Nikolai of Montpezat has moved to Sydney, Australia with his longtime girlfriend, Miss Benedicte Thaustrup. So what was the reason for the big move and why lovely Australia? Well, the couple were recently accepted into the University of Technology, Sydney, in the suburb of Ultimo. Classes begin on August 1st. Second, according to Ms. von Wildenrath, the couple, quote, "have chosen Australia because they have heard so many good and exciting stories from Prince Joachim, who has lived and worked there himself," end quote. Prince Joachim lived in Wagga Wagga for a year where he worked on a farm. And I'm pretty sure I mispronounced Wagga Wagga, but it doesn't matter because I like saying Wagga Wagga. In Oslo, His Majesty King Harald V of Norway held an audience with the Speaker of the Lithuanian Parliament, Miss Victoria Nielsen, at the Royal Palace. In Madrid, Her Majesty Queen Letizia of Spain attended a celebration and ceremony on the occasion of the 2023 Día Mundial de la Cruz Roja y de la Media Luna Roja in España, held at the Círculo de Bellas Artes. Held under the theme, "We Do It From the Heart," this year's Día Mundial de la Cruz Roja y de la Media Luna Roja celebrations, which is actually on May 8th, pay tribute to the, quote, "fundamental principles, values, history, and achievements of the international movement," end quote. During the celebrations, Her Majesty the Queen, who has a long history with the international movement of the Red Cross and the Red Crescent, gave a speech highlighting that anyone in a situation of vulnerability, illness, violence, inequality, risk of exclusion, or loneliness, quote, finds an answer in the Red Cross and a friendly voice and an outstretched hand, end quote. Her Majesty the Queen also presided over the presentation of the 2023 Cruz Roja decorations to 5 award-winning organizations, including the Ukrainian Red Cross. In Barcelona, His Majesty King Felipe VI of Spain attended the 3rd edition of the Premio de la Construcción Europea del Circo de Economía, held at the W Hotel. During the ceremony, His Majesty the King presented the award to the Mayor of Warsaw for his, quote, "work in welcoming refugees from the war in Ukraine and for his defense of European values," end quote. Yesterday afternoon in Madrid, His Majesty the King presided over the presentation of the 5th edition of the Premio de Historia Órdenes Españolas, held at Palacio Real de El Pardo. Established in 2017, the purpose of the Premio Historia Órdenes Españolas is to distinguish the researcher whose work has achieved general recognition for the, quote, "importance of their studies, the rigor of their documentation, and the scope of their conclusions, and that some part of his or her work is related to the Hispanic and its projection in the world." End quote. The winner of the award went to historian Professor Giovanni Muto of the University of Milan and the Federico II University of Naples. Thereafter, His Majesty the King held an audience with the Real Madrid basketball team, or baloncesto team, at Palacio de la Zarzuela. The team recently won the 2022-2023 EuroLeague championships after defeating Team Greece 78-79 in the finals. Meanwhile, His Serene Highness Prince Albert II of Monaco and His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg arrived in Valletta, Malta on Monday to attend the opening ceremony of the 19th Games of the Small States of Europe. Prior to the opening ceremony, the Sovereign Prince met with Monegasque athletes participating in the Games, while the Grand Duke met with 130 athletes from Team Luxembourg. Over the next 6 days, 9 countries, Andorra, Cyprus, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Malta, Monaco, Montenegro, and San Marino will compete against each other in various sports, including basketball and squash. On Sunday evening in Monte Carlo, Their Serene Highnesses Prince Albert II and Princess Charlene of Monaco attended the 2023 Formula One Grand Prix de Monaco Gala, held inside the Salle des Étoiles at the Sporting de Monte Carlo. Also attending the gala dinner were Miss Jasmine Grace Grimaldi, the eldest child of the Sovereign Prince, and her boyfriend, Ian Mellencamp, His Royal Highness Prince Charles of Bourbon-Two Sicilies, Her Royal Highness Princess Maria Carolina of Bourbon-Two Sicilies, Her Royal Highness Princess Maria Chiara of Bourbon-Two Sicilies, longtime Monegasque resident and close friend of the Sovereign Prince family, Mrs. Khadija Nin, and her husband, former race car driver and 6-time Le Mans winner, Mr. Jacques Bernard Ich, Lady Monica Bacardi, and His Majesty the King of Malaysia. No, His Majesty King Al-Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmed Shah of Malaysia and his family. This morning, Her Majesty Queen Mathilde of the Belgians received an honorary doctorate from the University of Hasselt. During the ceremony, the Dean of the University of Hasselt stated, quote, "It is a privilege for the university to present the Queen with an honorary doctorate on the occasion of the university's 50th anniversary. On behalf of the University of Hasselt, we are awarding this doctorate in recognition of the way the Queen lends her voice to the great challenges of our time. Whether it is education, equal opportunities, precariousness amongst children and young people, the situation of women here or in countries of the South, financial education, or mental health, the Queen always knows how to find the right words and raise relevant questions." End quote. In her speech, Her Majesty the Queen noted that receiving the honorary doctorate did not leave her, quote, "indifferent. The fact that I received this distinction for my social commitment makes it even more special, because it means that many people have been affected, that it makes a difference and makes things happen. That's why I would like to share this honor with the people who gave me their support and their trust." End quote. In Brussels, His Majesty King Philippe of the Belgians presided over the swearing-in ceremony of Miss Hilde Francois as the first president of the Court of Auditors, held at the Palais Royal de Bruxelles. In Oman, the official celebrations of the royal wedding between His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al Hussein bin Abdullah II of Jordan and Miss Rajwa Khalid bin Musad bin Saif bin Abdul Aziz Al Saif will begin at sundown on May 31st. However, tonight there is a concert celebrating the wedding, or upcoming wedding, I should say. Anyways, the ceremony will be live-streamed on Jordan television and on RoyaTV beginning at 4 p.m. on June 1st. If you're interested in watching the royal wedding, in the description box below, I will leave a direct link to RoyaTV. Bookmark the link and set your clock. The guests arrive at 4 p.m. and the ceremony begins at 5 p.m. Please keep in mind that the commentary will be in Arabic, naturally, and there will be no subtitles, nor will there be live translations from a foreign journalist. As soon as I get the link to Jordan TV and Oman News, I will let you know. In Muscat, His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq Al Sayed of Oman arrived at the Muscat International Airport this morning after a 2-day official visit to the Islamic Republic of Iran at the invitation of the President, Dr. Ibrahim Raisi, and Ali Khamenei. The focus of the slightly tense visit was on bilateral trade relations and investments in the government and private sectors. In Manama, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa Bahrain held an audience with the ambassador of Denmark to Bahrain, Ms. Lieselot Plessener. During the meeting, His Highness highlighted the progress of Bahraini-Danish relations, quote, underpinned by deep historical friendship and cooperation between the two kingdoms, noting the importance of continuing to develop these ties, end quote. Ambassador Plessener stressed the keenness to enhance cooperation between Bahrain and Denmark, wishing Bahrain, its leadership, and its people further progress and prosperity. Thereafter, His Highness planted a mangrove tree during a ceremony in southern Bahrain. The Bahraini Defense Force Royal Guard carried out the ceremony in cooperation with the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture as part of the National Afforestation Plan, Green Bahrain. Thereafter, His Highness viewed a photo exhibition documenting the stages of cultivation of the mangrove oasis, as well as watched a brief film about the stages of cultivation, which included, quote, 100,000 seedlings that were planted in several stages, including leveling and preparing of the land, end quote. Marine channels were set up and berms were built to prepare the site as one of the main habitats for birds, marine organisms, and wildlife in southern Bahrain as part of the national program to multiply mangroves by 400% by the year 2035. The project aims to preserve marine life and ecosystem balance due to the great and effective benefits of these plants and combating climate change. On Friday in Lisbon, His Royal Highness the Duke of Braganza presided over the inauguration of the 18th edition of the Point de Lima International Garden Festival. In Tokyo, Their Imperial Majesties Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako of Japan, accompanied by Her Imperial Highness Princess Aiko of Japan, viewed the exhibition entitled Together with the New Era, the Path of Their Majesties the Emperor and Empress, held at the Takashimiya Nohobashi department store this morning. The exhibition is held to commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Emperor's ascension to the throne and the 30th wedding anniversary of the Emperor and Empress. And finally, in Windsor, His Majesty King Charles III of the United Kingdom presented Royal Victorian Order honors to 150 Royal Naval personnel who took part in Queen Elizabeth II's funeral procession. And there you have it. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. I will be back tomorrow on Wednesday, May 31st, with all the latest royal news. Until then, I wish you all a wonderful evening and a great day tomorrow. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a thing. Okay, have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.